Hey everybody, it's Dr. J here. Welcome to our first module one. I wanted to just take a second to check in and kind of give you an overview on what to expect for this next module. So let's take a look at it. On our first week, the first thing that we're going to explore is what is African American literature. So check out this page for a brief description of what makes this course African American literature. Okay. And I have here for you some really cool works cited. These are resources that if you want to get more information about African American literature in general, just the discipline and the study of it, then you can check that out there at the bottom here. Okay. And then as we continue on to the module, the first thing that we're going to officially begin with is learning some key terms. Okay. So take a second, really understand these terms. You'll see them over and over and over again throughout this course, and really any other African American studies or ethnic studies course that you might take. Secondly, we will next we'll have another page that talks about the beginning of Black studies. So let me say this: African American literature as a study is under the umbrella of African American studies. Okay. And so I want to introduce you to how we even got to African American studies first. And then we can go and we can understand and appreciate African American literature even just a little bit more. Okay. So I want to say this: it's students that started Black studies, it's the student union that started Black studies. And so this is a really cool documentary to show you how those students fought, protested, and really advocated for the creation of Black Studies departments at a Black Studies department at San Francisco State University. In addition to the video, you also have this awesome article that talks to you about one of the pioneers of uh, the theories and the philosophies of Black studies, a brother by the name of Baba Oba Tashaka. And then I introduce you to one of our first writers for our course, okay? And I chose to focus on this brother here. His name is Amiri Baraka. And I chose to focus on Amiri Baraka because he is kind of foundational in the development of Black studies. And so it's really kind of a cool way to introduce Amiri Baraka to you, okay? So as you understand the fight for Black studies, you also have to understand that it comes out of a spirit of protest, a spirit of resistance, a spirit for the fight of liberation. And so Amiri Baraka becomes an absolute big voice at this time period. And so I introduce you to Amiri Baraka, give you a little bit about his story. And then there's a really cool video of him. He goes to San Francisco State University in 1977 and he does a performance of one of his poems. And so I thought, what a really cool way to really show you just the charge and the synergy of San Francisco State University by watching this full video. I mean, by watching this video. And so this video is a clip. But I also have this link down here for you if you want to watch the entire set, if it's his entire performance. Really cool stuff. And then finally, although we are proud to talk about Black studies, Black studies is definitely something that has been under the radar. I mean, has gone under the radar, the criticism of folks that are watching the educational system. And so, one of the people that I want to introduce you to is a governor in Florida by the name of Ron DeSantis, and he recently signed a freedom of education act, okay, called the Individual Freedom Law. And so, this is kind of a pushback what we do as Black studies. And so, although you may agree or disagree with Ron DeSantis, I just wanted you to know that this is the type of current conversation that we're having about ethnic studies and Black studies. In addition to that, we are now going to pivot and explore some of the key terms just a little bit more. Okay. So one of the first things that I teach you guys as I teach you the terms is racism. All right. And so how do we get to racism? How do we even get to this point where people may or may not want to talk about Black studies or ethnic studies? It's because of a very real racist reality that we are existing in. And so I give you a whole page on how we get to the social construction of this thing that we now call race and racism. And in addition to that, as we talk about race and racism, we have to talk about this thing called intersectionality. Okay. And intersectionality is a way for us to really debunk some of the myths that are perpetuated with race and racism. And so this is a really cool way for you to understand the concept of intersectionality by watching this video here, okay, on this page. And then our focus for each module will have some type of reading that we'll focus on, okay? We might have several readings, but we'll focus only on one, all right? And so for this particular module, we're going to focus on this poem by Amiri Baraka. And the poem is called An Agony as Now. And it's a beautiful poem, and I encourage you to read it out loud to yourself, right? And to explore this poem and really think about some of the concepts he talks about. Because later in our module, as you see in our next page, I want to ask you about what you think about the poem. And in order to kind of help you guys out, because I know poetry can sometimes feel a little awkward, I found a video of somebody reading the poem. Okay. So if you want to kind of read it for yourself and then watch the video, you're welcome to do that. All right. So check out this video and you're going to answer the question. How do you understand Amiri Baraka's description of this concept that he introduces in his poem, Pain? Okay. I want you to think about it as you're reading, as you're watching, as you're listening. What does Amiri Baraka mean? What is he describing? What is he speaking to when he says this thing called pain? And I want you to use this intellectual journal activity to explore that. And the instructions for the journal, let me go back up. The instructions for the journal are very straightforward. Pretty much, you're going to start a PowerPoint presentation. You're going to add on to it every week and make a journal entry. And with each slide will be a journal entry. Okay. And you're going to take just a few sentences to just answer the question. And this is a chance for you to kind of sit back and to think about some of the things that you've read and some of the concepts that were introduced with our reading. And then finally, for this week, you guys see I got my little intro video. For this week, we actually don't have a discussion board thread that's too intense. I just want you to introduce yourself. Okay. So that's me introducing myself. And remember, you get extra credit if you post a video of yourself. Okay. You get extra credit if you use to do videos. And so that is our course module for module one. And I'm not going to get ahead of myself because our next video and our next module will talk about module two. So if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, you guys let me know. Always here to help. And yeah, look forward to enjoying this journey with you. All right. Love you. Bye.